A lot of people say they don't like Final Fantasy 13. They say it's too confusing, too linear, too different. Some even say this is where Final Fantasy lost its way. But is it a bad game? For me, no, I actually enjoy Final Fantasy 13. Is it one of my favorites? Nowhere near it. But there is one thing that Final Fantasy 13 failed to do that every other Final Fantasy absolutely nailed. See, with Final Fantasy 13, it throws you straight into the chaos. Everybody's talking about the fal'Cie, the Purge, Cocoon, Lassies, crystals, and all this nonsense. But no one ever takes the moment to sit there and explain to anybody what is happening. Because why would they? Everybody lives in this world. They understand everything that's happening. But this is where they failed you. Now, not every video game does this, and I understand that, but in a game that's so heavily story-driven, Final Fantasy is usually good at doing this, but this is where they kind of let us down. Let me explain. In Final Fantasy X, you have Titus. That's right, I called him Titus, not Titus. Respect! The dude's from another time, another world, another reality, and he doesn't know anything. So through him growing as a character, everybody around him understands this, and they start to tell him what's going on. They explain it into great detail. They explain it to you. Final Fantasy IX. Zidane pretty much knows everything that's going on in the world, but Garnet doesn't. She's a princess that's been locked in her castle the whole time, so when she goes out in the world, she learns this and people explain it to her. Let's take a step outside of video games. Let's talk about the movie Titanic. You have Jack that knows nothing about high society or the snobby upstairs. Then you have Rose who doesn't understand anything about the people on the lower decks and why they smell like shit. But together they explore and explain each other's worlds and you learn through them. And then they eventually have sex. Now with Final Fantasy 13, everybody knows what's happening, even Hope, that little pointless shit. Even Fang and Vanille, who have been crystallized for many years, when they come to, they fully understand everything that's going on and they adapt to the world. But 50 hours into the game, even you do not understand what's going on. And it wasn't until I beat 13.2 and Lightning Returns that I fully took appreciation of the whole world of the game. The story of Final Fantasy 13 isn't bad, it just isn't told to you in a very convenient way. And that's what I feel Final Fantasy 13 forgot. So do you agree with me or not? And speaking on agreeing with people, I think this is one of the biggest issues in the Final Fantasy community. Now there are multiple Final Fantasy games and everybody has their own favorite, but there is this stigma in the air lately that everyone needs to be the ultimate Final Fantasy fan and shit on other people's opinions. I would like to remind everybody that you can still disagree with someone's opinion and still respect them as a person. I would just want to remind everybody, at the end of the day, we all play Final Fantasy because we enjoy it. You can absolutely hate on Final Fantasy, you can absolutely love on Final Fantasy, but when you start attacking each other over everybody else's opinions, that's when we start to fall apart, and that's not what it's about. I see people making videos of other people's videos on their opinions, and honestly, I think it's disgusting. These videos are pretty much just bad YouTube comment sections. Be better, be kind, and remember, give Final Fantasy 13 a shot, because it's not a bad game.